Huh?
Here.
No, you can still use it.
No, I can't while I'm doing the show.
Oh, is it a creature report?
Sorry. And I'm up to like 8. So that's
Hola.
no.
I don't know what to talk about. Okay, here we go. Ready? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Choosing Texas has now hit 19 weeks at number 1
My
on the
goodness.
Billboard.
Do we believe this?
It's
Such a totally fine song. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get the world.
Anytime we say it, people are like, it's the best thing in the entire world. So, you guys win, I guess.
Well, you gotta be. If you like, first of all, can we just say something? Country music, pretty much for the most part, sucks. All that steel guitar crap and the twanginess and I really right, well, fishing hole, I knew I'd find you.
Country music can be good.
Oh, it's rubbish.
Some of it sucks, but some of
it's better than rap. There's no doubt about that. But there's my daughter and I when we were going to Fauntleroy, moment we hit a country station, we were like, get out of here. With the exception of the Louisville Slugger song and the Friends in Low Places, there's a handful of great country songs.
There's some good stuff out there. I like Brad Paisley and.
I know you like Brad Paisley.
Okay.
But it's just not great stuff.
Okay. Well, you're a hater, obviously. You're hating the Ella fellas, and that's fine.
She's hot, and I do like that.
And, I don't necessarily get why it's the top song used to be 14 Weeks Ever was the record with Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey, and why Ella Langley is so much better than those.
I don't know either.
Other than the fact that, we stopped USAID, so maybe that's why. But I don't know. But, I'm happy for the Ella fellas and for Ella Langley.
You know who I'm happy for?
Who are you happy for?
Karen Ataya.
Yeah. Victory for Karen Ataya.
Reinstated. Karen Ataya reinstated at the Washington Post.
Mm-hmm.
She was celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk last year.
Yeah, and tweeted out a fake quote from him that was not a quote from him, and was happy about his death. And she used the arbitration clause of her agreement and fought it, and now is back at the Washington Post. She has forced them to take her back.
Yes, the union is. They have to take her back. It does remind me of some union guys I used to work with who just have no self-respect.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you through arbitration have won your job back where you're going to suck at it, hate management, be terrible here, and be terrible. And somehow you feel entitled to that. You don't feel embarrassed at all? Just go get fired.
She's not a person who has embarrassed as a bone in her.
Just be fired
body.
somewhere.
She doesn't have it because
Can you
if
imagine?
you recall,
like, wouldn't you feel if I had a fight or a disagreement or a crossword about like the last sweet and low in the break room with somebody, I'd want to like not work there anymore. Imagine they fire you for being an a-hole.
you have to be very low to do that because.
Well,
I
you
mean,
have to have just no sensitivity to like human norms.
I'm just trying to picture, like, you know how you can start to hate your job and it becomes like it feels intolerable. It's just
Yes.
under your skin and you hate the job that you're going to and you just freaking hate it. And you hate going there. And like, can you imagine now if they've made it clear that they don't want you there and they've like tried to fire you and you just stick around? Like how uncomfortable that must be. But like you say, you just have to be like missing that part of your brain or something. That being said, I think she just is missing that part of her brain because famously, we talked about this on our podcast at the time, right? When the burn barrel was first started up, about Karen Ataya tweeted this out on 6/6/2020. Black people are exhausted. We are asked to write, speak, educate, guide, and soothe folks about racism and sexism, draining our energy and time with little to no support or pay. She was an editor at the Washington Post at this time, by the way.
Right.
Little to no support or pay, all while traumatized. So pay Black people. My reparations Venmo is Karen-Ataya. Can you freaking imagine being like the editor of one of the biggest newspapers, or not the editor, that's the wrong word, but an editor at one of the biggest papers in the country, presumably compensated fairly well. I think she was like the global editor or something, or it was some,
Well, I'm sure.
yeah, but whatever it was, it's the Washington Post, so I assume it was fairly well paid at the time, and going on Twitter and asking people to Venmo you because you're tired as a Black woman?
Tired of what? Being a DEI hire, being a total midwit, having a tiny brain, getting a job you're not qualified
She's
for.
having to educate you about racism and sexism with no support or pay while you're traumatizing her.
Remember when you weren't allowed to say anything during Black Lives Matter, during the George Floyd riots, as they all destroyed all the cities? And remember when you started to say, well, I'm just saying that maybe that you shouldn't go in and destroy Black businesses. What did we have to do else? What did we have to do to the room?
Read the room?
That's it. That was it. That was the extent of their argument over why it was okay to destroy entire neighborhoods, police stations, have people die in the streets. Read the room. No, we just are. No, it doesn't. No. Yep. Just, yeah. So read the room.
Yeah, the like mediocrity of all the people like demanding this from everybody else is what bothers me so much. Is just, it's stunning. Like, what has Karen Ataya ever done that's impressive?
Nothing.
Like, really? I mean, I'm serious. Has she written some like biting piece that we all think of? Or something like, you know what I mean? When you share an article by, you know, Ross Douthat or somebody, Douthat, whatever, however we say his name, or Brett Stevens, or like, you know, there's people that when they write stuff, even like David French stuff, I'll share sometimes. Like people that I disagree with, I'll share sometimes because I'm interested in what they wrote because they like wrote something interesting. Has she ever done, like, does she have any claim to fame of anything interesting that she's done or said or thought or pioneered or whatever?
Well, she wrote this piece here for her Substack. We don't need a Black Helen of Troy. We need more Black mythology. We wouldn't be aspiring for Black inclusion in the white white imagination if we had more Black heroes and heroines. Here she's getting tired again. Maybe I'm getting older, but I'm becoming more tired over these recycled debates over whether Black women are beautiful, whether dark-skinned people were in ancient Greece, Rome, or Egypt. We know they were, but that is besides the point. That's besides the point, by the way.
It's besides the point. Speaking of which, Ketanji Brown Jackson has a new dissent out. She couldn't join the other dissent that was written by Sotomayor. But And one of the things in the dissent, it's all about having, it's something about the Supreme Court, like being able to, or lower courts being able to like hold things up for the entire country while they wait for a Supreme Court decision. Like people who didn't even bring the case get things paused, basically. It's sort of, I mean, unless you're like a law nerd, it's like a little bit esoteric, but in my opinion anyway. But anyway, she writes that the ruling violates well-established precedents concerning this court's equitable discretion and needlessly injects chaos and uncertainty into the upcoming midterm elections. It also lets another shoe drop in the Kafkaesque nightmare that our precedents have been steadily creating for certain plaintiffs who bring election-related challenges. It lets another shoe drop in the Kafkaesque nightmare.
And?
I mean, I guess you can mix your metaphors if you want. But, like, I don't think there were a lot of shoes dropping in Kafka.
So Kafka has to mean the metamorphosis? Is that the one?
Yeah, that's like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Is it?
So a guy becomes an apple. It's
all about,
or
like,
a cockroach or something.
Right. It's like impossible to understand inscrutable rules that you have to go through. Whereas the phrase another shoe drop, people believe it comes from people living in apartment buildings, that if you heard somebody take off their shoe and drop it on the floor upstairs, you'd be waiting for the other shoe to drop because you know they're going to take off the other shoe and also drop it on the floor.
Right.
So it has to do literally with shoes dropping. But there's not a lot of that happens in any Kafka that I'm aware of.
It wasn't a shoe-based
It
novel.
wasn't a shoe-based Kafkaesque nightmare. But like all these people are freaking dimwits. That's the problem, is that people are stupid. And the problem with all this left-wing garbage is that they are elevating so much stupidity. And I know we were talking about this today because the Jason Arday thing, and you know it feels mean to continue to harp on it when he's dead and whatever. But
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It feels good to harp on it. It's amazing, not just that we're being told that plagiarism isn't actually copying other people's words; it's copying their ideas. So copying their words is fine, as long as you didn't copy their ideas, which I find completely to be incomprehensible. Because yes, copying ideas is also plagiarism.
Yes.
Right? That's plagiarism too. But if you copy all of someone's words, which he did, like he lifted whole paragraphs from other people's stuff, how can you claim that your ideas were original while all your words were the same as their words? How can that be the case? Like, how can you say he didn't copy ideas, he just copied words? Like, okay, fine. My 10-page essay is all the same words as your 10-page essay, but it has totally different ideas in it. Like, what do you think the words are expressing?
Well, but also
they're expressing ideas, but of course, none of their words express any real ideas. So to them, he just copied words because all their crap is fake anyway. And that, to me, is the thing that's impressive about the Jason Arday thing. Isn't even so much that he's a huge plagiarist and liar, is that all of the quote-unquote scholarship in their entire field is completely insane garbage.
Yes.
It's all Kafkaesque shoes dropping. Like, it's all trash. So I was reading today about this, and a lot of his papers were what is called in sociology, there's a type of research you do that's called autoethnography. Okay?
Yes.
So, do you know any Greek?
Jakma?
No, I'm thinking of the prefix auto.
Okay.
Like, what does auto generally mean?
Oneself?
Oneself, right. So, autoethnography is where you interview yourself about your experience. And then you analyze your interview with yourself and draw conclusions about it. So here's a quote from his original research, not the part that's plagiarized. Both authors narrated their adaptation or outwardly working towards being perceived as scholarly prevented them from being their authentic selves in the workplace.
Being their what?
Their authentic selves in the workplace. Okay. And here he quotes Arday, who's one of the people that he's quoting in this interview with himself. Arday says, "My biggest issue in academia is having to hide my autism, turning up to work and hiding my autism. For example, 90% of the time, I don't know what's going on, but I'm having to pretend that I know what's going on. And I don't understand what people are saying. So because of the processing delay, it takes me ages to understand, but normally I understand about 2 days after the meeting and the context is gone. Good. What restricts me professionally speaking is just that I can't be myself." End quote, Arday. This is in his paper. He's quoting his own experience of not knowing what anybody's saying around him. And then he goes, "Here, Arday recalls how challenging it is to understand the way people communicate at work, because it may take him several days to process and understand what's being asked of him in a particular conversation.
You guys can keep talking. It's all bouncing off, just so you know.
Mask and finally comprehend he cannot simply be himself at work." So he's like, quote, "Arday, I can't be myself at work." Here, Arday is saying he can't be himself at work. Like, it's the most insane trash. Like, what is happening? That's the original. That's the part that's not copied.
I'm retarded.
What are we doing? Why? So
I'm going to be useless in this meeting, just so you know. So, I may in 2 days get back to you with an LOL.
Wow, they brought me to Cambridge. I have no idea what's going on around me.
I ran 27 marathons in 25 days.
And then everyone around him is like, "This is truly groundbreaking stuff."
Well, they're doing it
and then people are like, "Oh my gosh, you drove him to this because he miscited a few sources when he was doing important sociology work, and it's him pretending to interview himself about how dumb he is." Like, is this real life? This is like beyond parody. But apparently, like, other people are saying in the charts that in the like replies to this stuff that this like isn't that uncommon in sociology, where you where you like yourself. You self-interview and then like quote yourself because it's like my lived experience as a whatever. Okay. And so then that's like your research is like, well, like I experienced racism in the cafeteria today, and like that's the original research.
Well, but the thing is that
that's like Karen Ataya research. That's like the type of reporting that she does, I assume, because that's like it's
she's
like
tired.
I'm tired. Here's my reparations Venmo. Like that's. I assume she thinks that's like what journalism is. That's what other reporters are doing.
Well, the thing is, though, that Arday had paid her here.
Yeah, because everybody...
Takes me 2 days. Nothing's sticking. Nothing sticking.
And they're like, wow, this is truly incredible stuff.
So I'll respond to Wednesday's meeting Friday. I'll respond to Thursday's meeting Saturday. I'll respond to Sunday's meeting...
And the students were like complaining about him.
Tuesday. But I want you to listen to the guttural sounds that Bill Maher talks about this story a little bit. And by the way, this should be a journalist's dream, this guy, because he's so fucking fraudulent. Of course, they all just played along. This is Dana Bash and some other journo is there. And listen just to the guttural noise they make when Bill Maher sets up the story.
There was a story, I mean, if you're going to talk about academics this week, I just have to bring this up. This Jason Arday story. He's a professor.
Really sad.
Very sad.
Very sad. Like
that's not no. That's actually not the bleed for this. The story is that you freaking people are vile. Vile.
Yeah. This is so sad.
Why would he do? I don't understand. We went along with everything that he said. We gave him 2 days on everything. It's like very sad. That's not the point.
It was his processing delay.
Sad. The point is that he fooled everybody in every institution everywhere, or they just went along and wanted to believe it anyway.
Like, reading that quote from him, though, actually kind of does make me sad, because it makes me feel like he's the character in Flowers for Algernon.
Yeah. Yeah, the mouse is winning the maze race.
They just, like, brought this guy who literally went to school to be a gym teacher. That's
Yes.
like what his undergraduate work is being a gym teacher. And he just wanted to go be a gym teacher. And it looks like he did do some race running, though not the amounts that he said, but he probably like didn't know how many races he did. Who freaking knows? Like, when I read that original research that he did into himself, where he's like, wow, I just have no idea what's happening around me all the time. I can't understand people's conversations. Like, that makes me sad, actually.
Well, but imagine also, like, there's one meeting that you have every week that you know is a total wash. Okay, guys, we have to have the department head meeting this week. Okay, so this, all right, I'll just do FanDuel, I guess, during the whole thing.
It's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. I mean, this is like Isaac Newton's institution. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is supposed to be the cream of the intellectual crop, and this is what's happening there. But I don't know. Also,
Hold on.
okay. Hold on, what?
In education studies at the University of Roehampton, you're finding that academics are having to do, so much. There's so much more required of them, and in some cases that isn't even reflective in the pay or necessarily the length or duration of the contract. And increasingly, because in terms of trying to navigate or trying to understand some of these changing patterns within academia, what you're finding now is that a lot of academics are on fixed term contracts. So, some of them 0 hours, but the majority of them fixed term, and those fixed term contracts now are between 1 and 2 years, which obviously doesn't offer any security and makes it even more difficult through relationship breakups in terms of marriages. I've spoken to friends who've encountered nervous breakdowns and had to take significantly long periods of time out of the sector. It's amazing the lack of resources that institutions have to support staff that may be going through these types of difficulties. In some cases, I've had friends speak to me and kind of not highlight that they're dealing with significant personal issues because it's kind of seen as a sign of weakness and it could affect them in terms of promotion. I think that's been probably a bigger case, I would argue, as well for women. So I've had, women who specifically friends of mine who've spoken to me about, potentially wanting to have a child and that type of thing and feeling that they can't do it because if they do...
Not a lot of facts and figures here. It's personal. Yep, I talk to women, I talk to this, they're telling me.
Seen as a sign of weakness and, the anxiety from work anyway might put undue stress on an unborn child, and there's all those kind of different elements that you think that actually higher education institutions within the UK, they do have a duty of care to their staff. Well, I think the strike's effectively happening because of pension cuts. So it's happening because,
Okay.
Yeah.
Lost a great one.
Last great one?
We lost a great one.
Oh, we lost a great one. Yeah.
I was a PE teacher. That was my background. I was a PE teacher, and interestingly today, I was talking to someone, and they said to me, "Jason, what were you doing 7 years ago?" So we were having this conversation about, with some school kids before I had all these meetings. Say, "What were you doing 7 years ago?" And I said, "I was a lecturer teaching physical education, and I had a weekend job at Sainsbury's on a Saturday, and I had a job on a Sunday, a cleaning job for a company, cleaning toilets at major stadiums in London." So that was my job. So he was talking about this with the students, with the pupils in school, and so I was like, so I told them what I was going to be doing today, and they're like, "Ooh," and I said, "Yeah, I know." "Ooh," they're like, "What are you going to say?" I said, I don't know, any ideas? And so I said, all I know is that it's Crossfire Hurricane, and this is it. And so the reason why I kind of emphasise this is because one thing I became really cognizant of doing this research was barometers. So levels are a really interesting thing, and more importantly, the level we use to judge particular groups of people.
Ooh.
Now, I think with some sort of confidence and authority, I can say this, bearing in mind I've done research around it. So if the level to get into academia is here, so this kind of crossfire hurricane, That's the standard that we use. Now, when we think about this idea of black excellence, and I say that in a political sense in terms of black and brown and indigenous, that level is somewhere
It's 2 feet higher than the other
beyond the
level.
stars. And the reason why I say that is because we have a lot of data to point towards that. Now, we have 23,000 professors in the UK. 23,000 professors. 15,500 are white male, 5,500 are white female, and as of probably 2 weeks ago, we have now 38 black female professors. Now, if you look at the 2011 census, and obviously the next one's coming out next year, that probably doesn't look so bad. 14% of the UK are made up of black and ethnic minority people, 4% are black. That's not a bad return for less than 1% of professoriate to be black. But when you think of the number of black and ethnic minority students, and that's me being facetious, by the way, but the counter, if you think of the number of black and ethnic minority students that go into higher education, just under half of that million populace of students that go are from a black or minority ethnic background, including international students within that as well. And then if you go into kind of PGR taught, you've got 2/3 that are made up of black and ethnic minority.
So nothing he says means anything. This is nothing.
No,
this
it's
is just
all garbage. It's all
Yes.
garbage, and their whole field is garbage, and that's why they think it's fine to elevate people who just churn out more garbage.
right.
And that's a deeper problem than Jason Arday himself as a person. He just caught on to the grift in general. And, it's funny because there's been this there's always this sort of background discourse about high trust and low trust societies. And how, I don't know, you put that thing out there that's or you didn't put it out there, but you told me about it. You shared with some people on text and whatever about Cider Hill Farm. Wasn't that the farm that had to start checking bags because people were stealing from the pick your own
It's a nice
berries?
farm in Amesbury, Massachusetts. Yes.
Yeah, and they do pick your own and all that stuff. And it's they've had an increase in people stealing from the pick your own.
Yeah.
Which pick your own is freaking expensive.
It is.
It's an absolute bougie thing where you pay $100 for a couple bags of apples that would cost $5 at the grocery store. But whatever, that's what you opt into when you go there. You know that you're going to get $80 worth of apples. And it's for the experience, and you post the pictures on Facebook like all the other millennial moms do, right? That's what you're doing when you do that. Is it's not actually meant to just be a place where you can scam to get free produce.
Right.
And they're not set up like a grocery store with, checkout aisles and to be searching people, because it's meant to be a high trust activity.
Exactly.
So they're distressed because now they have to make their employees search people to make sure they're not sneaking blueberries out of the farm, because they think they've all discovered this one easy trick to get free blueberries, and they're scammers. And it's the same with people who rob farm stands and stuff and think oh, I found a cool hack. And it's the same thing that broadly culturally is the thing that makes you excited when you get the summer EBT card, and other people like you when they are getting paid a full-time salary to watch their own relatives at the house.
Yes.
And by the Medicaid programs or whatever. And, whether that's child care special funding from the state to watch your own kids, or you do it with your neighbor and you watch each other's kids. So now instead of being stay-at-home moms, the state's just paying you.
Yes.
Or it's with an elderly relative where you can make money for living with an elderly relative because otherwise the state would be paying somebody to care for them, which this was never a norm where the state pays you to be with your own relative.
Of course not.
The paying that happens for you when you take care of your own relative is that you don't have to pay somebody else to do it. Right? Isn't that that's the financial
That's the value,
reward
yes.
is that you don't, but now because we pay to take care of everybody's relatives all the time with state money. Like, this has now become a grift, and it's a huge grift. And frankly, like, this culture accelerated a lot during COVID because a lot of these programs, like, what was the one? Is it PPP or whatever? Like,
yeah, the payroll protection.
Yeah, a lot of these programs were specifically designed to essentially enable wide-scale fraud.
Yeah.
And a lot of people's feeling was, like, I'm going to get mine. Like, you feel about the EBT card, or, like,
Yes.
apparently a bunch of people feel about Cider Hill Farm. And that if they're going to let me walk out with all this free money and free berries and whatever, then, like, why wouldn't I take it? Like, that's the system's designed for me to do this. So of course I'm going to do this. I'm going to walk out with the Medicaid childcare dollars and the Medicaid home care dollars and the summer EBT dollars and the, you know, the whatever else and the COVID money and all of this stuff. And like a large number of those COVID program dollars went to things that were like, you know, somebody saying their sole proprietorship business where they were the only employee lost income. And they weren't, like, if you used it for quote unquote payroll and you're the only employee of your own sole proprietorship, it would be like if, and you know, like you and I didn't take advantage of this for Burn Barrel Enterprises that we could have. There was no requirement on how long your business had to have been in business. There was no requirement that it stay in business afterwards.
Yeah.
There was nothing. We could have, if we wanted to, filed for the payroll protection thing and said, Burn Barrel Enterprises is being affected by COVID, and we can't pay our employees, who are Tom and Alice Shattuck, and we both need this much salary, and, like, receive that. You know what I'm saying? But that's...
Yeah.
You can only have so many people who act that way.
Yes.
Like, you can't run a civilization if it's full of Tom Shaddocks who act that way.
Yeah, not everybody
Or
can't
Jason
do it.
Ardays, who are a scammer.
Yes.
Like, if your scientific fields are complete trash and garbage, and there's no guardrails on anybody just friggin' saying anything and calling it research and getting a professorship, then you're going to have people who just make crap up and take advantage of it.
And then you have to cultivate that project and pretend you're not seeing what you're seeing, but really know that you're seeing what you're seeing.
Right. And so all of this stuff, we're like enabling low trust scam culture everywhere.
Yes.
Everywhere. It's like...
Cheswick says, I think Foot Locker carries Kafka shoes.
I saw that.
Oh, you didn't say it. Cheswick says he wasn't... Alday was a PE teacher because it took him 2 years to catch up to himself.
I don't know that I get that.
I'm not sure either, but I like it.
But yeah, like
Well, and also
we're
I think
enabling scam culture. Like
you're
you're a fool if you don't take advantage of all the scams, apparently. Is like the society we're building. So like I can't see how anybody can be surprised by a Jason Arday.
No, scam culture and thug culture and punk culture, and this is not contained or just black people. This is white kids too, and punks and thugs, and like the more I think about chipping away at little civilizational gestures, I think you can find a correlation between people now openly just wearing hats in restaurants to punk kids on sidewalks riding their bikes at other people and last second turning away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a video on our West Newbury page the other day that was a video of kids on Main Street by Newell Farm Road on bikes doing wheelies down the center yellow line.
Yeah, I saw that.
With trucks coming. Did you see that video
Yeah.
that was out there? Freaking incredible. I hope those kids' parents see that video.
I'm not allowed to say what I think.
About the kids in the video? I can tell you that if that were my kid on the video doing wheelies on the center yellow line as trucks breezed by them, and some of the comments were like, at least they're wearing helmets. Like, do you think that's going to matter if the friggin' truck goes into them, and you freaking traumatize a truck driver for life. But like these kids have learned that you can just go do whatever and people will protect you or not. And like, it's going to be on them if they kill you and like, who cares?
Yeah.
And it's like so entitled. Like I just get to ride my bike in the middle of the street. Sucks to be you. You guys have to work around me now.
Well, just imagine like this entitlement for even 12 years ago, people stopping in the middle of cutting off 93 because of climate change with big things of cement and stopping traffic, and the entitlement of that, and then deciding that they're allowed to stop, take over intersections, and they're allowed to, in the ones in talking about it here, and they're just protesters, they're allowed to do whatever they need to do. Oh, you have to go to work, really? Oh, because they're
yeah. And Mark in the chat says the e-bike riders in Wakefield are out of control too. It's crazy. I mean, a kid died in Haverhill this year. A kid died in Stoneham last year. How many kids have to get killed before you tell your kid not to do that?
Yep.
If that were my kid on that video, their bike would be on Facebook Marketplace that day for free, and they would never see it again. Like the bike would be over. I don't understand why parents are like fine with that.
It's terrible. It's terrible. And I don't understand why they're fine with that either. I don't get it. I don't get why like this thuggery is allowed and just this punk behavior is allowed. And the funny thing is like with all the, we're shutting this down, we're shutting the building down, because we're happy about the Jews getting slaughtered, we're going to take over this building and then take a janitor hostage. And we're going to take over this building. And this is ours now.
And then on top of that, I'm going to complain that you won't let me use the bathroom because I'm on my period and I'm going to get toxic shock syndrome. Like, at least if you're going to take over the building, or at least if you're going to drive in the middle of the road and get hit by the truck, at least don't have the audacity to, like, complain about it then.
Well, that's why it's more disgraceful and inglorious than ever. And you're right. And then they look and say, oh, my goodness, look at them walking through the Capitol on January 6th. Look at them walking through lawlessness.
Yeah.
Because they don't feel like they ever do lawlessness because it's for a reason. They're doing something noble. No, you don't understand climate. You don't understand ice is out there. We have to stop the traffic because ice. You don't have to get to work. What matters is ice. January 6th people, those are violent thug crazies. The left during George Floyd attacked cops left and right.
Oh, yeah. Tons of people died.
But
I forget how many bazillions of dollars of property damage
cops.
it was. Yeah.
It's like... But no, the only time that ever mattered, because they're accepted and exempted from all of this, which is something that Republicans need to work on messaging about. It's absolute BS. And my feeling, my feeling on the kids, especially the kids who, like you see, who are on sidewalks and are menacing people, like driving their bikes right at them, doing wheelies, and then last second turn away, and last second turn away. My feeling is I don't want to call for violence at all, but if somebody shoots one of those dudes in the head, I don't care how old he is, then that's a good thing. It is. It is. Absolutely. Like, there was a time when that would last 3.7 seconds. Also, depending on the neighborhood. Like, you, as a punk, try that in 1976 in South Boston, or 1976 in the north end of Boston, and you're scaring the old...
Wasn't it your friend who had a story about, like, throwing a snowball at a car and some adult, like, came and punched him?
Yeah.
Like,
threw a snowball at a car, it hit the car, and he's just walking... He's in Lowell, just walking down the street, and, like, 5 minutes later, a guy's walking the other way and punched him and knocked him out in the middle of the street.
But like, all of our kids have now been raised in a culture where everything is an honor system farm stand of consequences, and they have discovered that you don't actually have to pay.
No, and also, not everybody who complains is a Karen. A lot of people are. Not everybody is. Like, we have some jogger around here, some punk kid who's like kicking over somebody's sign every time they jog by, and there's video of him. Like, why isn't this kid's name known?
You know his family's got to recognize him on that.
Of course they know who he is. I just...
Like, if that were our kid, if somebody posted that video and it were your kid, like, what would you do?
I would exact severe punishment on that child in a way that would be memorable for the child. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
No, pretty much. Okay, let's do the chat.
all right.
All right, Alice. You go by Alice, right?
I do.
It's a nice name.
Thanks.
Welcome. Okay.
Named after Alice from the Honeymooners.
Yeah. Kind of a hot lady. Was she not?
I guess so. For the era.
Also liked fat guys.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I mean,
Hey, folks.
who wouldn't like Jackie Gleason? He's so funny.
Agreed.
First off, Alice, sorry about your dad. My mom died in hospice care at home, so I was with her at her house, and it takes like 6 months before you start feeling like you got your feet under you. It shouldn't be long, but if you notice that you're a little more, terse or angry about things in the coming months, just remember it could be a form of grief or the fact that Tom's just pissant. It's more likely the second one. And Tom, just want to let you know, during all your COVID talk, you forgot about John Keller. And when he was on doing his little speeches about, his dandiness and how everyone should get the shot and the booster and the shot and the booster, and people who aren't protected shouldn't even be allowed to wander the planet. Oh man, you totally forgot all about that, dude.
I hate him too.
What can I say? The guy is, what an absolute butterfly that dude is.
Piece of crap. Nobody in the media in Boston loves him. They all make fun of him.
99% of the WNBA players are vaccinated, once again proving what we all knew, which is women are smarter than men, or at least smarter than Kyrie Irving. 99%.
By the way, speaking of athletes who didn't get the vaccine, we watched the Novak Djokovic documentary last night. It's like new-ish on Prime, and it was really good. Did you not think it was really good?
I really liked it.
It was fascinating. He's very Serbian.
Yes, he is absolutely. Yes, I really liked it.
He's very Serbian, but it's a very, I thought, inspiring story. Very little of it is about the vaccine thing, and an extremely small amount. It just made me think of it when you brought that up, because like he was making no real statement on the vaccine other than that he was a high level elite athlete who monitors every single thing he does with his body and didn't want to upset the delicate balance.
Well, and also, according to Australian law, if you had COVID, you didn't have to get it.
Right.
And he had it twice.
In the last 6 months,
right,
which fulfilled their requirements, and other people went there on the visa who fulfilled those same requirements and didn't have the vaccine, but it was purely whatever. But the documentary itself is very little of it is about that, and it's a very good documentary.
Yeah, and also I think it's funny. It sniffs around, and because they got just destroyed in the 90s through the world's PR, it sniffs around what happened to the Serbians in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, somebody's got to revisit exactly why we were bombing the Christians.
Well, that's what I think. Yeah, it's worth a watch for sure, and it's kind of got some inspiring sports.
Yeah, and I'm not a tennis guy, but
it was just good all round. Other than our particular political hobby horse issues, that was not much of it actually. But
yeah, it was a welcome distraction as far as I was concerned.
Hey, Billy from Manchester.
Hey, Billy.
Alice, so sorry to hear about your dad.
Thanks, Billy.
May his memory be eternal,
Thank you.
as we say in the Orthodox religion. Number 2, I will be like Sato from Karate Kid 2. I give you 3 days of mourning before I start making fun of the show again. 19 seconds.
I didn't know Billy was Orthodox, did you?
I did actually.
Really? Who the hell knew? What else don't I know?
Because his name was on the stuff that he said. I mean, I didn't know.
How do you know
was
from his
Orthodox.
name? Is he Serbian? Is he
no? But
Greek?
it's from
Russian?
I'm not telling you. You're gonna
Dox him.
friggin' dox him. No, but I thought from his name he probably was. But so thank you, Billy. I appreciate that. Yes, and memory eternal as we sang at the graveside today.
Hey, Tom again. Alice,
Tom.
I forgot to leave my condolences.
Hold on, and I got to start with your first one, Tom. Hold on.
Hey, Tom, Alice, Tom from Thomas.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tom, that clip of that woman saying that those people had to let their daughter be and do what she wants. It was so infuriating. You are so right. 25-year-olds, they're not 13, they're 10-year-olds.
I agree.
And, they say, oh, in the olden days, people were, married and did stuff at 13 and stuff. In the olden days, women were cleaning and cooking and taking care of kids from the time they were 7 or 8.
Mm-hmm.
So they were mature and ready to marry. And the boys were out hunting for years. They were men at 13 or 14. Now kids they're babies till they're 26,
Correct.
27.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this world is falling apart, Tom.
Correct.
52.
Thank you, Tom. And now we'll go to the number 2 here, to the snort.
Hey, Tom again. Alice, I forgot to leave my condolences to
Thank you.
on your dad. I had an eccentric high school teacher, and I was brutal to him as a freshman, being a wise ass in study hall. And then I had him in junior and senior year. He was the best teacher I ever had in my life, even though he would cut his ties off, wear them over his shoulder, tell us about his cat wouldn't let him watch TV at night, wear glasses, half a glass was missing. He was eccentric as all get out, but he was the best teacher and the only teacher I remember from high school.
Wow.
So I'm sure everyone that knew your dad will remember the good eccentricities he had. And I'm sorry he's gone.
Thanks, Tom. That's very nice. Well, can we make something public here?
What thing?
The fantastic text that he sent?
Oh, I was like going through his texts and reminiscing. And
Can you do it in his voice?
You're the one who said he texts in an accent.
He does.
Which he does text in an accent. And this was like one of his good texts. I had like sent him.
So he was a brilliant guy who knew he was a brilliant guy. And so he was keeping track of who got how much of the brilliance distributed to them.
I had sent him like some of my daughter's like math team results, and he goes, "Wow, Sally genius. I think last time that someone was winning math and physics competitions was when I did it in elementary and high school," which is funny because I won some math competitions
Overlooked again.
in my time, but whatever. That was bait, but I did not take it. I won state championships and nationally was 10th first time, 3rd second time I participated. Congrats, Sally. She got your genes, which you got from me and I got from my mom. That was genius line.
Congrats, Alice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Congrats, Sally. She got your genes. He means congratulations to Sally,
Okay.
but
So
there's some words missing.
Yeah.
That's right. Which you got from me and I got from my mom. That was genius line in our family. Can't be happier to see it go on. Congrats to Sally. She will reach far. Encourage her and other kids to do programming. I am sure one or more of them would excel. You probably know, the firstborn is usually the smartest of the bunch for math, physics, chess, the usual prodigy fields.
By the way, speaking of prodigy, did you see the trees out in the yard?
Yes, I did see.
Did you see somebody reassembled a chainsaw?
Wow, that must be a manly man.
Yes, it is a manly man. That's called the prodigy line right there.
Like biceps must just be
correct.
I'd like to feel one.
Correct.
Yeah.
My hands, Alice. I'm almost getting calluses.
Wow.
Hey, Tom and Alice.
Hey, Charlie.
It was a very informative Patreon you guys had the other day. We learned so much. We learned that Tom is pro flock cameras.
Definitely.
He likes to be surveilled no matter where he goes.
Fine.
He's also pro Soylent Green. He does not have a problem eating people.
I don't, actually.
And Alice goes to these business meetings where she meets people for 5 minutes at a table and the timer goes off and she goes to another table. Alice, that's called speed dating.
Are you
speed dating is what that is.
You actually a prostitute?
No. No.
Alice, very sorry to hear about your dad. My sincere condolences to you and your family. And I'll try this. I don't know if I'm going to get it right, but Nekamu Yuya Laka Zemya.
Maybe Serbian?
I don't know.
Just say thank you. That was
Thank
very
you.
nice. In Serbian. Do you know some Serbian?
Hvala ti puno, Tim.
Ooh. Sounds dangerous. Thank you, Tim.
Hey, Tom, doesn't this data center debate that's happening in the public forum remind you of what happened with nuclear power after 3 Mile Island?
Yes.
And after that Karen Silkwood movie? It's the same thing from the same playbook. Nuclear power we need now more than ever.
Yes.
It's efficient. It's safe. It's clean. I would say cleaner and more safe than those fakakta wind turbines that are killing the sea life and burning up and blades falling off.
Damn
Yeah,
straight.
those things suck.
We're doomed. Send the media.
Yeah, I'm right. Send the meteor right now. I'm right there with you,
I
Tim.
like that you overpronounce the R in meteor to make sure that we know that you don't have Tim's accent.
What is that? What a
Send the meteor.
How dare you? What
You're
was
such a snob. Send the media.
You were
Tim.
looking at it. You were listening and saying, he said media. Doesn't sound like, oh wait, maybe I'll catch Tom.
Well, no,
trying to,
you like overpronounced.
I overpronounced it to make sure the world.
You were translating for Tim because you think we can't understand him.
I get.
Let me help you with
You
your
are not a
speech
victim anymore.
impediment, Tim. That's how you were playing it. Yes, the meteor, Tim. Good. Yes, he means meteor.
I'm a professional broadcaster. I make high, low, mid five figures.
We could all take some pronunciation notes from you.
You're not a victim anymore. Your mourning period is done. Mr. Sato's mourning period is
Look
done.
at that enunciation. Wow.
How dare you? You fucking weasel. Oh, women have no honor. Oh.
Thank you guys so much for the well wishes and the condolences. I appreciate it. And thank you for listening. Per huge. If you want to.
Oh, talk about you did me dirty. God, women have no honor. Oh.
Dr. Cheswick says you're Paul Bunyan. For your...
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But Mark Sardella says don't send the media. Thank you so much.
Tim, that's not me. It's this lady.
You're the one who called attention to it.
That's this one.
You called attention.